Welcome to Module 5, Section 5 of your California Contractor License Exam Prep course. In this section, we'll cover a core skill for B2 residential remodeling contractors, installing electrical fixtures and understanding the requirements for GFCI and AFCI protection. These are common elements of nearly every remodel, especially in kitchens, bathrooms, and outdoor spaces. As a B2 contractor, you're allowed to replace existing electrical fixtures, install light switches, ceiling fans, outlets, and similar components, provided you're not running new circuits, altering panel configurations, or modifying the electrical system's layout. Staying compliant with these limits is essential for protecting your license and your client's safety. Let's begin with the basics of what is allowed under your classification. You can replace or install lighting fixtures, ceiling fans, switches, and receptacles, as long as the wiring already exists and no new wiring or circuits are required. For example, changing a chandelier to a recessed light, replacing an old fan with a new one, or swapping out switches for smart dimmers all fall within your rights. However, installing a new outlet where none existed before, running wiring through walls, or upgrading a service panel must be done by a licensed C10 electrical contractor. Even though your scope is limited, you still need to know and apply California electrical code requirements, especially when it comes to safety measures like GFCI and AFCI protection. GFCI stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter, and it's a life-saving technology that shuts off power when it detects an imbalance in the current, such as when electricity leaks through a person to ground. GFCIs are required in wet or damp areas where the risk of shock is higher, including bathrooms, kitchens, laundry areas, garages, and outdoor locations. Anytime you replace an outlet in these areas, it must be a GFCI outlet, or the circuit must be protected by a GFCI breaker upstream. Likewise, AFCI stands for Arc Fault Circuit Interrupter. This device detects dangerous electrical arcs, which can occur when wiring is damaged or deteriorating, and shuts off power to prevent electrical fires. AFCIs are required in most areas of a residence, including bedrooms, living rooms, and hallways. While AFCI protection is typically provided at the breaker panel, you may encounter situations where a combination AFCI/GFCI outlet is needed, especially in remodels where circuit upgrades are not practical. You are responsible for ensuring that any replaced receptacle or switch remains code compliant. One of the most common B2 tasks is updating light fixtures. This might include removing an outdated ceiling light and installing a modern LED flush mount. Before beginning, you must shut off power to the circuit at the breaker and confirm with a non-contact voltage tester that no power is present. Then, you can safely disconnect the old fixture, inspect the wiring, and install the new one using proper connectors and mounting hardware. Always follow the fixture manufacturer's instructions and verify that the electrical box is rated to support the weight of the fixture, especially for ceiling fans or chandeliers. Another frequent job is replacing light switches. This might include upgrading to dimmers, timers, or smart switches. In these cases, it's important to understand the wiring configuration. Some switches require a neutral wire to operate, while others do not. You should never guess or make assumptions about the wiring. If the wiring configuration doesn't match the new device's requirements, or if you encounter damaged wires, stop and refer the job to a qualified electrician. Your role is to ensure functionality and safety within the boundaries of your license, not to troubleshoot or rewire circuits. When working in kitchens and bathrooms, you'll almost always deal with GFCI outlets. These outlets have a built-in test and reset button and must be installed in specific zones based on the California Electrical Code. In bathrooms, all outlets must be GFCI protected. In kitchens, outlets serving countertops must also have GFCI protection. If you're replacing one of these outlets and it's not already a GFCI, you must upgrade it to one. Simply matching the old outlet is not enough. You are responsible for ensuring the replacement meets current code. Fortunately, modern GFCI outlets are easy to install and offer clear wiring instructions. Just be sure to connect the line and load terminals correctly. Reversing them will disable the protective function. In some cases, You'll also need to consider tamper-resistant and weather-resistant requirements. In all residential settings, outlets must now be tamper-resistant to protect children from shock. Outdoors or in damp locations, the outlets must be weather-resistant and installed in weatherproof boxes with in-use covers if they're exposed. Replacing an outdoor outlet with a standard indoor version is not just incorrect, it's a code violation. As a B2 contractor, you must know the difference and always use the proper components. Now let's talk about fixtures like ceiling fans. These are often installed in bedrooms or living areas and can include lighting as well. When replacing a ceiling fan, make sure the electrical box is fan-rated. Standard boxes are not designed to support the vibration or weight of a ceiling fan. If the box isn't rated, the fan must not be installed until a proper box is in place. Again, if that involves modifying framing or running new wiring, subcontract the task to a licensed C10 contractor. Mount the fan according to the manufacturer's instructions, ensure all connections are tight, and test the unit on both fan and light settings. When replacing electrical fixtures, always keep safety front and center. Shut off power at the breaker, confirm the absence of voltage, and use insulated tools. Wear PPE, including safety glasses and gloves, when working near energized circuits. Even low-voltage wiring can be dangerous if mishandled. Keep your work neat and your connections secure. Messy wiring can lead to arcing, failure, or fire. Don't overload boxes with wires beyond their capacity, and never bury junctions or make unapproved splices. These are common mistakes that fail inspections and could lead to future hazards. Also, understand the importance of labeling and documentation. If you make any changes to outlets, fixtures, or switches, document what you did for future reference. Label breakers clearly if they were not already. This makes the work easier to maintain and builds credibility with your clients and inspectors. If you're working as part of a larger remodel, your work may be checked during a rough or final inspection. Even if the fixture swap seems minor, you'll be held to code compliance, so every step matters. To summarize, B2 contractors are authorized to replace electrical fixtures and components as long as they don't run new wiring or circuits. You are allowed to install or replace ceiling lights, fans, switches, and outlets, but must ensure that all work complies with California Electrical Code, including GFCI and AFCI requirements. Always use tamper and weather-resistant components where required. When in doubt, stop and subcontract the work. Safety, code compliance, and professionalism should guide every installation. Staying within your scope and maintaining high standards will keep your license protected and your business thriving.